Sure. So at the Be Concerned Food Pantry, there has been a palpable level of what I would say is uncertainty from some folks that have been coming to our food pantry, lobby, and thrift store for assistance. These are folks that are finding us for the first time, and some of those are federal workers that have just undergone working for kind of the first time in their experience and not receiving a paycheck. So when that paycheck didn't come, they are trying to scramble and find community resources they may have never had to use before. We've seen some folks this week that we haven't seen since like COVID in the 2020 era, of people who needed us during a short amount of time, who might have found us the first time then, but then coming back under what this feeling of uncertainty is, especially with the food stamp potential, the SNAP potential, food stamps not going out as well. So you've got kind of federal workers not getting paid, but then you also have the compounding of just our local Kentuckians that depend and rely on food stamp and SNAP benefits every month potentially not coming in a month, November, that typically is supposed to be a month of plenty where we're really sharing things with our family and friends. And that's a rough scenario. We had assumed that we would see an uptick at this holiday quarter. Last year in our December Christmas store, we call it, we took care of 1,701 kids. So that's the number of children we provided gifts to. We assumed there was going to be about 2,000 this year, just the number of people that have steadily signed up throughout the year and families that have utilized us. The average family only comes about 6 times a year, so they don't come every single month. They just come at the times of most need. But taking a look at what's going on now with this uncertainty and what's going on in the government and with SNAP, we're probably going to have to try to take care of maybe 2,500 kids if this doesn't get resolved and the government doesn't reopen. And that creates a large budgetary issue for us here, and also the asks on our donors. It doesn't sound like that much. Oh, Andy, you're just going to go ahead and your team's going to find 500 more gifts. Well, the average gift we try to provide is about $30 in retail value. So that's $15,000. That's a lot of money to just turn around. And what will happen is we'll do what's right to take care of families this December, but then we'll have like a money feeling that's tight in June of 2026, saying, why are things so tight around here? And it's because we did what was right in the moment, and then we have to recover from that down the road. But outside of that regular increase we were expecting of 1,700 kids up to 2,000 kids, having to take that up to 2,500 plus is a challenge. And that's one of our biggest kind of boogeymen in the room right now, is how do we make sure that we collect enough good quality items so that the humanity, dignity, and respect of the program and its tradition is maintained while we're still meeting people's needs now. Yeah, so the staffing board, this has been looming now. So as soon as kind of folks talked about a potential government shutdown or with a SNAP, with uncertainty really with federal funding being cut going back 6 months ago, once that first started kind of looming here for agency partners, we don't receive those federal funding contracts, so it hasn't negatively affected our day-to-day operation, but we've seen more and more people come. We had our first thing happen here in kind of June when we lost all of our NKCAC CSEP workers, the Senior Community Service Employment Program. That funding was not renewed by the government, so we lost 12 of our senior workers that worked about 20 hours a week. That was a huge gap in human labor to recover from, but we've talked about it. We've been prepared for it. That's why we made small increases in what the budget plan and what the number of kids served were. We just weren't planning on a storm where it was going to be food stamps and federal workers not getting paid at the same time. Because with federal workers not getting paid, you also throw a whole bunch of folks that quote unquote shouldn't be in this line into the line, or people that have never been here before. And those are some difficult circumstances for the family to acknowledge that and sign up and ask for the help, but then to find the resources to go and support that in an unexpected situation. But yeah, I'd say the storm between SNAP and the federal workers has kind of created a bigger monster than we had planned for. We had talked about it, but we didn't plan on a perfect storm, and that's kind of what it looks like right now. So Wednesday, at the heart of Be Concerned sign-up time right now, I think we've already signed up 70 new families, my team said, just over the course of this first kind of 3-day session, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's kind of unprecedented for us. That's more typically in the number of families we might sign up over the course of a month anymore. We may be signing up 100 families over the course of a month. We're typically not signing up 70 new families for the regular monthly food pantry. Supply is all right for right now, but those things also Other federal issues can affect that. So, there have been tariffs, there have been things like that that do from time to time affect the pipeline on shipping or even producing the cans that the food is put into. A lot of people don't think about that kind of the global economy can affect the local economy here in Northern Kentucky. And if something happens in one of those countries that produces the ore for the cans, right? Like that's obviously going to create an issue. That's happened before that we didn't think about. So there are potential pipeline delays and issues, but right now our pipeline is fairly decent. So we have been blessed to have a pretty steady uptick of donations. So those food rescue donations I've talked about have been pretty consistent right now. Like I said, the Zion Distribution Center has really been a blessing and a lifesaver for us, especially as we've expanded our food programs to try to keep meeting people where they are. So our food programs are still totally free. There's no cost associated with them. The Christmas program here is totally free. The voucher program in the thrift store is totally free. If you do want to come and shop the thrift store on extra time, you definitely can. You can spend your own money if you want to, but we still provide our programs at no cost to people. And I think our retailers and partners have understood that that's like an important commitment. And yeah, at the end of the day, there's not a lot to say other than we've been very lucky and very blessed. So we've been lucky with pipelines, with donations. We do need more. Our big threat for donations is that we know that for Christmas, we have lost a major toy donor. So we know that one of the major toy donors for what's been decades and decades here in Northern Kentucky is no longer able to meet that commitment they've had. And we knew this would happen. So we've been kind of planning down a pipeline. It's been winding down for a few years. But 2025 looks like the first Christmas store that Be Concerned is going to have that's not going to be powered behind the scenes by a large in-kind toy donation. And that's going to be an immediate gap of about 400 items that we have to find. We try to make it easy to get involved, just like we try to make it easy to get help from us. Go to beconcerned.org. There's a website. You can click the tab to get involved, and you can get involved with one of the 3 T's: time, talent, or treasure. So there's a way to donate directly to one of our programs if you want to make a monetary donation. There's a way to sign up in our Sign Up Genius for one of our many holiday slots we have opened up to go ahead and help people receive their Thanksgiving and Christmas goods. And then the last one is like talent, is reach out for a one-on-one and a tour. We always have board openings. We have professional volunteers that help us from, CPA work down to just double checking our books, donor acknowledgments. And we have a lot of people that have come to us because they just want to give us some of their talent. I think our newest volunteer is a lady who owned a jewelry store for years and is retired now, but wants to come volunteer here to make sure our jewelry is displayed nicely, and if we get any nice stuff, that it's actually priced the right way and not given away for a quarter.